All right, all right, all right. I think I am live. Hello, Zen friends. Happy birthday to me and to anyone else that happens to have their birthday today. My mom, she said, "Oh my God, you share Abraham Lincoln's birthday," which I'm sure she knew that for as long as I've lived. Um, but she goes, "You'd be 217 years old today." And I said, "And a vampire." And she was like, "A vampire?" I go, "Well, if he was 217 years old." She's like, "Oh." Anyway, hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great week. Happy Thursday to you. Um, and I'm excited to see what messages come through from Spirit today. So, before we do all that, though, let's come back to the moment and then we'll bring in the singing bowl for some more beautiful energy as well. So, if you'd like to join me, take it a big deep breath in, holding it for as long as you feel comfortable, and a slow exhale, coming back to the now, out of the future, out of the past, out of the chaos, into the wonderful joy and love that is here in this moment. And then we'll bring in the singing bowl. So if you want to join me, let's begin. Big deep breath in. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. And then I will hit the singing bowl three times. One, two, three times. And of course, as we do this, we can just imagine that beautiful love energy that lives within us, that is us, expands into our mind and our thoughts and our stories, to our emotions and our hearts, and to our physical bodies, all our cells, our bloodstream, our muscles, all of our joints. I've been begin to work out again, so I'm feeling the muscles that I'm like, "Oh, yeah, those do exist." So, comforting those muscles and then out into our energetic system, all of our chakras, our meridians that are run throughout our bodies, and then also our auras. Filling us up and going out to the outside world, letting it do whatever it wants to do out there to make the vibration of the planet, the love vibration, higher and higher and higher. And then, of course, something else we can do as I'm hitting this is thinking of one thing that we're grateful for right here, right now, in this moment. It just allows us to expand our beautiful love energy to go to new levels, new heights. Um, and then also it opens us up to receive messages from spirit and magnetizes us to receive more of what we're grateful for. So it's always a win-win, win-win-win, right? All right, so we'll do that. I'm gonna start off down here in case it's really, really loud. Never sure how loud it will be, so mind your ears and mind your ears, because here we go. All right, here we go. Okay, that wasn't loud at all. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. She's just gonna sing. She wasn't even let me quiet her down. All right. So we'll put that over here. Hey everybody, good to see everyone. Hope you're doing well. And let's get everything set up here and we will get in to the readings here. Okay, just making sure it does say that we're live. That's always good. All right. So welcome, welcome. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. I'm your Bretta Z, and we're here to spill the tea. If you want to know how the whole process works, all the information's down in the description area of the video. Um, Free readings do come, first serve, and all you do is put your question out in the chat, and we'll pull usually 1 to 2 cards for the free readings. If you don't know what you want to ask, you can ask for a general reading, and then we'll see what spirit has for you as well. If you make a donation, I do honor that energy exchange, step out of the um, free readings, dive deeper, meaning we pull more cards, we get more tea for those. And then you also get a fortune cookie to round out your reading. A little extra. Tonight, we're continuing with the beautiful Dark Goddess Oracle. So we will see what they bring in for you. Um, If you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description area of the video. I do have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. So if you want to make a donation, I don't have any set dollar amounts. Whatever you're able to give from your heart is the perfect amount. And because I know everyone's finances vary and the cost of living and the rate of exchange, all that is different. So I do honor that. And I know not everyone can donate, so I do 2.5 hours in, if I have not completed any free readings, I do step away from donations for, like 30 minutes and complete as many free readings as I can, and then I go back to finish out all of the donations, and then after that, I return back to free readings if my energy, persists, and we can finish as many free readings as we can. Um at the end of each session, I do post a pinned comment listing all the videos, all of the timestamps for all the readings. I list all the individuals and the timestamps. You can just click on that, and it takes it over to your reading. I think those are the main things, blah, blah, blah. We only have a few more days left until we have our next drawing. Every new moon and full moon, I do have a drawing to give away a 30-minute person recorded reading or one of my energetic hedges, whichever you prefer. Here's the link to get into the drawing. It's always down in the description area of the stream. And then also tomorrow there'll be the making the most of the new moon energy video coming out for the new moon wishes and intentions. I think I have it set to hit at midnight tonight. So it'll be waiting for some of you to wake up in the morning. Some of you, you'll get it before everyone else, those of you on the other side of the planet. And then if you want to check out my podcast series, it's free. It's The Easier Path. And we had the most recent adventure come out. It wasn't this week. It was last week. Yeah. For Living Consciously, there'll be a new one coming out next Thursday. Wednesday. Thursdays is when they come out. I think Thursdays is when they come out. It's every 2 weeks. It's my birthday. I'm a little bit distracted with time frames today, but thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. I think that's everything we want to talk about there. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm excited. Yes, I've talked to all my family today, either by chat or over the phone. So we don't talk that often. So this is a day to celebrate. All right. What we'll do here, I think I covered everything. I'm going to just do the shout outs, get the list together, and we will get started into Z readings because we're here to hear from spirit, see what's going on. There was something going on today. Let me just take a look here. There was something that was, it was Mercury in Pisces. I know Jojo you'd mentioned that Mercury went into Pisces to join Venus going into Pisces. but today it conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. So there's a lot of faded conversations and realizations today. So really interesting. And then what is this? It looks like Mars in Aquarius. Quatraguzungzungs, it's some sort of long word. Looks like Jupiter in Cancer. So there's this beautiful energy going on with our Mars and Jupiter too. I know. Oh, really? I know. So if you have any kind of epiphanies or kind of things that become aware, I wouldn't be surprised today. All right. So let's jump into got Olivier Vergara. Hello, hello, Olivier. I see your free reading there. We'll add that onto the list here. Kat Mia, thank you for all the candles and the cake. Thanks for the coffee there, Olivier. Yep, I have been enjoying my special day. I do celebrate all year long, so, today's just the emphasis of the official. Starting my 60th year, I just turned 59.0, now we're at 59.01 or something, right? So thank you so much, and we got, Jojo, thank you for the happy birthday and the big hug, Olivier. Happy, happy birthdays. Take a look here. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, thank you, Dev Dev. Hey, Dev Dev. Singing happy birthday. I can just imagine karaoke Deb. All right. All right. And then we got Little Starseed Angel. Hello, hello. Get you on the list here. And we got a starseed before that. So we got the starseeds in the house. I'm sure a lot of you are. And then we've got Fairy Tale Nihal. I got yours here up there. And then Jojo, of course. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for your donation. We'll get you on the donation list up there. Oh, Anshul, you changed your name to a starseed. Okay, good to see you. I'll try to remember that one. All right. And we got Leslie. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes and the donation. Oh, wow, all right. Oh, and that's you don't have a question, that's just a birthday donation? Well, thank you so much. If you do have a question, pop it down below, but thank you so much for that. I'm so grateful. And then we do have here, we got Toucho Love. Hello, hello. Thank you for the birthday wish. We got you on the free list here. We got Moncloa. Hello. Got you on the list here. Of course, Sudeshna Ghosh. We got 2 for you. You'll be up first for those donations. And then we've got User PC. Hello, hello. And Swaroop Bobby. So hello, Swaroop. Swaroop you'll be the first for the free readings once we come around the corner there. Let me just update my email, make sure nothing came in over there. All right, I think we are good to go. So thank you guys so much for being here on my birthday. It's a special day for me. So I'm going to continue with this Starlit Dream Tarot. It's kind of a basic deck for the minor arcana, but the other ones come in here as well. Oh, thank you so much, Deb Deb. We will get you on the list here too. Thank you so much. You're so generous. And Kat Mia, hello. I think I said hello to you, but got you on the free reading list too. If I didn't say hello, hello. All right. So cheers, everybody. Oh, I have a new shirt. I have to show you this first. It says a penny. Well, let me see here. There you go. A penny for your thoughts seems a bit pricey. And I got the shirt because number one, it's sassy, right? But I wanted to it's like my reminder that other people's thoughts are opinion, and why would I pay for other people's opinions, when the opinion that matters for me is my own, right? So a penny for someone else's thoughts does seem a bit pricey in that context, right? All right. So let us get going here. And we got Leo energy jumping out. We got the strength card here. Beautiful card. Be bold and courageous. All right. So now let's cheers. So thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, yum, yum, yum. And thank you for all the thumbs up already, too. Of course, it helps spread the Zen love. So thanks for being part of the love tsunami. All right. So for donations, we have 2 from Sudeshna. And then Leslie, if you do want a reading, but thank you for your birthday donation. I appreciate that. So we've got 2 for Sudeshna and then Jojo, and then Deb Deb will be up after that. Um, and then we got Guide in the house. Hey, Guide, good to see you. I'll get you on the free list here. Leslie, I'm glad you like that. Yeah, yeah, thankfully, that's right. A good point, Deb, because it's not but a Z's opinion that I learned not to give any unsolicited advice because no one really wants that. So it's from only from spirit. Normally, sometimes they'll say, "Me as your bread is Z." I don't like that for you, but that's not spirit's opinion. If I ever say that, right? So I like that. All right. So let us dive in. So up first we do have Sue Deshna 1739 for your first one here. A wise one or wise ass, right? So what can you expect on Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day, how will it go? Anything else? All right, let's take a look here. So, based on your current energies, what does Valentine's Day look like? Mm, How will it go? And what else do they want you to know? That leading to that, to that. Don't feel like that, but this here. Okay. Yeah. Well, it feels like got the Knight of Pentacles, which is a slow roll kind of energy for Valentine's Day. So I don't know if you have a date, it's gonna be it just feels like it lasts forever, but it doesn't feel like in a positive way. It's like, "Oh god," and if you don't have one, I'm not sure you will with this Knight of Pentacles. It feels more you're in a period of slowness to learn more about your own self-love, and the Knight of Pentacles is on a quest to discovering our own self-worth. So, it does feel, fun, right? Maybe not. But let's take a look here. What can you expect on Valentine's Day? Yeah, you've got the 3 of Pentacles, which is more kind of group with friends kind of energy. And the 8 of Swords is about letting go of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore. So it does feel more of a gathering of friendship and learning a lot about what you want, what you don't want, and realizing these thoughts and beliefs of expectations of a Valentine's Day is supposed to be this and should be this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, does it though? No, I get to make it be what I want it to be. I don't have to be constricted by the beliefs of what everyone else says because, a penny for other people's thoughts seems a bit pricey, right? So it's like, yeah, I don't want to pay for that. Um, let's see here. How will it go? You have the 9 of Cups. In this case, it's not like a dream come true, but it's an emotional satisfaction that comes from being true to yourself with this 9 Hermit's energy and the kind of Ace of Cups energy kind of combined together with this. Just feels like it's more finding your self-love, is a big process that you go through and outcome that comes from this Valentine's Day. Let's see what else they wanted you to know about. What else? about this. And you have the magician. It is what you make it, with the magician energy, whatever you focus on, whatever you choose is what manifests. So if I focus in on that big, all the expectations, like the Eight of Swords that are constricting, I'm going to feel disappointed because all this needs to happen in order to get to zero. Once that happens, then anything above that is above and beyond. But if I go in with as little expectations as possible, then it feels like abundance. It feels like this wonderfulness that comes in, right? Underneath the magician, you do have the 10 of wands and the 5 of wands. Yeah. So there's a lot of energy that's available and flowing here. But the 5 of wands is a bit of drama, and it is friends energy too, friends group, but it just feels like there's a lot of activity, a lot of kind of a message of check where your energy is at, is their advice that they would want you to know, because there's something about Saturday, Valentine's Day. I think there's some sort of astrological stuff that's happening too. Oh, it was all this Venus going into Pisces, which brings in all this desire for romance, desire for partnership, desire for all this stuff. And if we realize it's this astrological influence that's making us so extreme around wanting to be with someone, we realize, oh, okay, it's I'm not in heat, it's just the planets. It's like when there's a full moon and we're like, what is going on? And you look out the window and see the full moon, we're like, oh, that's why. Let's see what else they want you to know here. Hey, you've got the Nine of Pentacles, which is kind of this message, one of gratitude, focus on gratitude. But also, if I can't be happy by myself, I can't be happy with someone else. That's the way it works. And I feel like the Nine of Pentacles is that hermit's journey again. You have the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Got the King of Pentacles under that, which again, we go back to this Knight of Pentacles, which is the journey of finding our self worth inward, not outward. One of the big things the King of Pentacles teaches is the Four of Pentacles, which is when I define myself by the outside world, I feel unstable because all those three areas we're told to define ourselves by are unstable. Relationships with humans of all kinds, family, friends, romantic, whatever, situations and things. All of this leads you to a focusing on joy and a joyful celebration. If you realize those things and take away the expectations, you can have a joyous celebration of Valentine's Day with possibly a group of friends rather than focusing in on, well, I should be having a romantic date and be moving forward with someone. I should have a love in my life. And you're like, you do have a love in your life. It's you. You're the one you've been looking for, right? So I feel like that's what they have for that. Let's see what your fortune cookie comes in from the Dark Goddesses. Let's see what else they want you to know about this Valentine's Day. What else? Okay, I feel like it's this one here. Maybe. There we go. You got Lilith. Yeah, rebellion. How funny out of all the cards, because Lilith, supposedly being the first wife of Adam in one story, was like, no, I'm not going to submit to you. I'm out of here. You can be with Eve. She'll just do whatever you say. But the myth is Lilith is a demoness from Jewish and Mesopotamian legend. In her earliest mentions in ancient Mesopotamia, Lilith is a wild spirit with power over the wind. In Jewish lore, here it is, Lilith was Adam's first wife in the Garden of Eden. Originally, they were created equally, but when Adam suggested they make love and that she should lie beneath him, Lilith refused and flew out of the garden. After this, she was demonized and portrayed as a child murdering succubus because, he didn't like that. More recently, Lilith has been reclaimed as a feminist icon by people who celebrate her as a powerful, independent woman who refused to be dominated by a man. Snap, snap, right? The meaning is now is the time to make your own rules. Lilith encourages you to reclaim your power by doing what is right for you, even if it goes against tradition. Tap into your inner knowledge rather than following others. There you go. Not listening to that other people's opinions, right? Some people may question you as you create your own path, leaving behind convention, but have trust in yourself. You don't need external approval to find freedom, happiness, and success. Boom. I love it. Exactly what we talked about, right? All right. So I love that first one there for you. And then here, oh, you know what? I didn't scroll to the top here. Let's give your first one a love and a like, and your second one a love and a like here. Whoops. There we go. So, all right. So for your second one, we're at 2648. There you are. And you want the next week for you love, career, health, and guidance. All right. So for next week. So for love first. Okay. Got those. I feel like this one is separate somehow. We'll see what that is here. And then we've got career, and we've got health, and other guidance. Any other guidance here? Okay. And those three underneath. All right. What do we got for your overall energy for next week? You do have here the world. So the world card, of course, is a significant ending of a major kind of cycle, beginning of something new, free of expectations, free of restrictions, kind of energies, right? So for love, you got the Two of Wands. And with the Two of Wands, it doesn't feel like two choices of sparks in your life. It feels more about really, a just a reminder, because you've heard this probably 100 times, right? That whatever you focus in on with your energy is what grows and expands. And so if you next week focus for love, you focus on what is not happening, what you wish and what you want and what you need, then we get more of want and need and it pushes it further away. And of course, we do have on the 17th the new moon. So, new moon wishes and intentions are all about with gratitude, not about, so you can use the new moon and, hey, this is what I would like, and then release, right? Um, so, I like this energy because that very much is telling you that whatever you focus on with your um, intentions, your manifestation energy is what expands. More you focus on gratitude for love you do have in your life and have had, the things you've loved, the more you draw it in, the more you focus on what hasn't happened, blah, 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 right? Yeah, beneath the surface, you definitely have this mother nature, mother nurture, empress energy. And the 10 of Pentacles is relationship energy. So it is about turning inward and more from your heart to find out what in your heart you want from a relationship and why. So understanding the what and the why, and then you let creator handle the how and the when, and they'll bring in the most beautiful person for you in the perfect time in the perfect way. But it's important for you to understand and spend some time going, what is it that I want and why do I want that? And is it really that I want, or would I add my mind? And this is about dropping into your heart with the Empress, because she's got so much water within her, because she rules over all four queens, and all four queens have cups energy plus the Queen of Cups. So 5 parts water, then 1 part air, 1 part fire, 1 part earth, right? What was this extra card? Yeah, so a lot of clarity, and this makes sense with the Ace of Swords. You're gaining a lot of clarity around what it is you really want, what you don't want, what you'll accept and what you won't accept. And I feel like you're learning a lot about, through the relationships you've had in the past, how when I've shrunk and tried to be what I thought they wanted me to be, and I got to be that it it just isn't there, right? It ends up being low vibration because a lot of what you're doing is out of fear of that, you know. I feel like I'm supposed to do this and be that, whatever. And it's like, but that's not you. This is about being true to you and nurturing you and deciding what you want. And then with that clarity, that can help things move forward. But I feel like it's a bit of a reflection energy right now. Um, and then career, right? Was next. Wow, you get the star card and the death card. Yeah. It's time for you to quit that job and go after something that is more true to your dream come true than, again, it's kind of like how we act in relationships is like, well, we think this is as good as I can get. So I might as well try to do whatever I can to keep it. It's like, nope, if the energy doesn't match, it's time to move on, both in love, right? And in career. And this is what they're saying is that it's a, you know that this is ending, know that the career is ending, and there is something that's more in alignment with you out for you out there. And so spirit's having you, if you haven't been looking, be looking. And then health, you do have the double card. Yeah. Work seems to be stressing you out. Also, the devil card is about long held thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. You have a lot of stress with this Capricorn Saturn energy that's shaking and rattling your world, and it impacts your health, right? When you feel stressed and out of control, then the rest of it just your body's like freaking out and it shuts down its immune system, floods you with all these chemicals. You're sore, your digestive issues, immune system is having trouble keeping up because it keeps shutting down and shutting down every time you're going into stress and fear. So there is this, for health overall for you, it's letting go as many fears as you can and expectations and coming back here. Let's see what other guidance they have here. Yeah, remember who you are. You're the Ace of Cups. You're a chalice. You're a holy grail. This is about your self love, remembering that you are not this human character on this little human stage having this little, fun playing pretend. You're a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. You are already loved more than we could ever need, um, and we're overflowing with it. We're able to fill up with that even when we're down here. So I feel like that's their advice is return back to your self-love. That's gonna solve everything because and everything is pointing you back to your self-love. Beneath the surface here, you do have the 7 of Pentacles, which is things do slow down to give you an opportunity to reflect on things, right? That's why there's the slowness and the temperance. Slowness, energy that's come here, and the 3 of Swords. Yeah, to look at your expectations and your fears of heartbreak and fear of disappointment. What are we afraid of? What's really at the root of it, right? So there is the slowness that's coming in. And now is the time, for that ending of the old cycles and the beginning of a new adventure with free of all those expectations. And then you can see the world as full of possibilities instead. So I feel like that's what they have going on. Let's see what the dark goddesses have for you here in a second. So let's put all these cards back in here. There we go. All right. So what do they have here for your next week? All right, this one. And you've got the Kalish, which is rest. Take it slow, right? It says rest on the bottom down there. So let's see what this brings in here. Kalish, maybe? Is that Kalish? Um, she is the Celtic goddess of winter. She is also known as the Winter Queen or the Veiled One, and her reign begins on the festival day of Samhain on October 31st, so Halloween. She appears as an old woman with deathly pale blue skin, and she controls both the winds and the length of winter. She ventures out each February 1st, the festival of Imbolc, to collect more firewood. If the weather is dry and she's able to gather more wood, then the winter will be longer. But if rain keeps her inside, she will soon run out of fuel and spring will arrive early. So basically, she's the black goddess of the groundhog. That's what we have, groundhog. With the groundhog comes out and sees their shadow and goes back in, there's gonna be, many more weeks of winter. If they don't see their shadow, spring comes early. Anyway, the meaning for you for this is give yourself permission to slow down. I mean, you got the 7 of Pentacles and the Temperance card, which is all about slowing down, right? Now is the moment to rest and take time to reflect. She encourages you to embrace this moment of peace because rest has the power to not only restore your energy, but to help heal your mind and your body. Stress and overwork will eventually wear down even the most resilient person. We can't make this up. That's what you're talking about. Embrace tranquility and calm. Oh, so I thought it was going to say, and calm down, but it says, and calm now so you can face the future with renewed focus and vigor. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And thank you for your dual donations. Do a little cheers here. Clink, clink. Yum, yum, yum. All righty. So, Jojo, you're up next. Jojo, 3742. And you want to know, am I somehow in a past lifey sense connected to EB, the writer? I thought you were like, you are really, I thought you were going to go into this kind of question like, am I living a past life right now? We are. We're living multiple lifetimes and multiple time dimensions and time frames all at once. So if you look at life as a circle rather than linear, we're living lifetimes where we can look across and see other lifetimes that we're living right now too in the human world. We have tons other that we're living in other dimensions and universes, which just starts to blow our minds. But let's take a look here specifically for this writer, EB. Do you have like a past life sensei connection with them? Let's take a look here. Mm-mm. These and this one here too. All right. So what is all of this going to be about? I feel like these all explode from that. All right. Well, the bottom of the deck, you do have the King of Cups. And underneath that, you do have the Three of Cups, which is your spiritual posse. And then underneath that, the Three of Pentacles. So there is this friends group kind of energy that's here. So I feel like they are part of this artistic group energy. Yeah, even under that, you've got the three. I mean, the Empress with the true creativity number three. So it does feel like, there is that connection there, just with that bottom of the deck energy that's coming in here. So part of this large collective of actors and artists and writers and singers, that love to create in a variety of ways in their lifetimes. Your first card here, yep, the Judgment card, the calling card that comes in here in this drawing up to see, and then the trumpet and the music. I feel like you g they also played music, if not in their lifetime as a writer as well. That's definitely, I feel like they're saying, "Yeah, this is part of the musical group. Just every once in a while, you guys go rogue and don't do music, but I feel like music is a big core, experience that you guys all go for. But I feel like in that one, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a writer." Yeah, I felt with that King of Cups, which is a perfect compatible partner, you guys did have relationship energy here with the Two of Cups. So you've had many relationships, but you tend to part and go different ways with the Three of Wands. Things don't unfold the way that we think they're going to. What in one lifetime, one of you died from tuberculosis, is what it was that they tell me. So sometimes it's through death, other times it's through like I feel like you were the one that you were a man in one of the relationships and you got drawn to war. And I feel like, okay, this makes sense because you got one card and then two cards, two cards, two cards. So this is this common theme, and it's kind of like these two are the two of you and the different past lives that you guys have had. Three that they are specifically bringing in here for you right now. So I like this. The core of it all, yeah, Queen of Wands. Feel like in these you were always the bossy one with the Queen of Wands. It's like the foundation is this energy and this divine, divine connection, but the Queen of Wands is you were always a fire. You're always the fire in these three lifetimes at least that they have here. One lifetime you got the Four of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. In this lifetime, you guys did have you were as a relationship of money. It was like an arranged kind of relationship in one. But with this Four of Cups, you were bored, um, and didn't want to maintain this, you know, um, tradition of being, like I feel like in this one you were a man and you were, going to be joined together and they chose the wife and you're like, "No, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna go away and I'm gonna live the life I want." "Well, you'll lose all of your money and blah, blah, blah." I feel like this is back in the it's still horses and carriage days, but it's more on the verge of, like, the turn of that period where automobiles were coming within a decade. So it's around that time frame. Where you were like, This is so old school. I'm gonna go to the big city. I'm gonna go to London, and I'm going to become an artist or a singer or, an actor. I'm gonna go live the life I want. We're gonna cut you off from all your money. I don't care. But I feel like that's what happened in that one, and they happened to be the one left behind in that one, and they were just like, "Oh, well," because they didn't really know you. They're like, "Oh, okay." But I feel like they were, you know they did get to experience something from not, you know, um, seeing you stand up for yourself and go, "Wow, you can go do what you wanna do." Of course, they were a woman, so they were, like, a little more restrictive still, but she was like, "Hmm." Gave her a little bit of inspiration, in that, as well. And in another one here, yeah, I feel like it was a teacher-student energy, and this is the one where um, someone died from tuberculosis. But I feel like, um, and I don't almost feel like with this Hierophant, it's a spiritual leader kind of energy, but I feel like I almost feel like, which one of you was the doctor? I feel like in this one, they were the doctor, and, um, and I feel like you might have both been male in this lifetime because I feel like you were studying underneath them and they were like your teacher. And I feel like there might have been feelings that you guys were going together, but then they died of tuberculosis. So in this one, you got to learn the feelings of being left behind, right? And then you have the 9 of cups and the 5 I mean, 9 of pentacles and the 5 of cups. So, there was this energy here. 9 of pentacles is, independence, wanting to be alone, being a hermit, and the 5 of cups is the sorrow kind of energy here. This one, it almost feels like you were siblings in this one, and close siblings, and, again, one ended up dying and leaving the other behind. I feel like you guys switched the death in this lifetime, so you ended up passing, and they ended up feeling the sorrow of being alone. So it's really interesting that it's this, you know I love how when spirit shows us how we like to, not out of punishment and karmic debt and stuff like that, but it's we like out of curiosity to experience, "Oh, you experienced the sorrow in this lifetime. I wanna be the one that has it in the next lifetime. So can you be that for me and allow me to experience that?" And they're like, "Yeah, absolutely." It was really interesting, when we're back on the other side, we see all the pain and suffering is interesting, unlike when we're here and feeling it. So, hopefully that helps, Jojo. Let's see what the dark goddesses have for you here, regarding this as well. You had to pop out. I don't know, did I give you I don't think oh, yours was a sticker. Oh, and Leslie, I didn't give yours a love and a like there. Thank you so much for your birthday donation. Yes, very, very interesting. We shall see what you say here. If you don't know what your timestamp is here, Jojo, here's your timestamp. So let's see here. What do the dark goddesses have here for you? All right, this one here. Yeah, I love it. You've got Manmat with destiny, which is funny because we're all talking about past lifetimes and some things are destined, some things are not. So the myth of Manat she's the Arabian goddess of fate, fortune, time, and death. She's the oldest of the three goddesses and rules alongside her sisters, Al-Lat and Al-Uzza. As the goddess of death, she is a protectress of graves and curses those who disturb them. Upon death, one is greeted by Manat carrying her chalice of death. Pilgrims to her shrine shave their heads and stand before her idol to ask for her blessings. The meaning is peer deeply inside yourself and observe what is important to you. What is it in your life that illuminates the darkness? That is where you need to be focusing your energy. Time can so quickly slip through our fingers, so don't wait any longer to go after your dreams. Set your intentions and be clear with what you want to create. Manat is guiding you in crafting your own beautiful destiny. Wow, I love that. This is funny, because she was talking about living your dream, I feel like suddenly she tears off her veil and it's your fairy godmother. "Surprise, it's me. I was only acting." And then the real Manat walks in and goes, "Excuse me?" So I love that. So it explains why you feel so connected. Oh, Wuthering Heights, of course, also because it's a great classic. Oh, very good. Recommend to see it. Oh, cool. Well, I've been seeing it pop up as recommendations, so maybe I will check it out. That's the new one that came out, right? Oh, why Venus is the only force that can stop Mars. Astrology truth. Oh, thank you, Deb. So Sabrina Lynn Rewilding, is her channel. If anyone wants to check her out, um, So definitely do that. Oh, it came out today on my birthday. Yay! I haven't, seen that yet. Would I like to explain why? Because love is the most powerful force in the universe? Is that is that why? Imagine? Oh, is that your question, Deb? Yeah, yeah, you're up next, right? Do I have an opinion? A penny? A penny for the thoughts? So, well, let me finish up. So, Jojo, that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Deb. Let me just put a timestamp out here for you, and I'll see here if you had another question. We'll give that a love and a like here. So thank you so much for your generous donation for the birthday. And hey, Jazz, I see you come in here. Happy birthday to me. Thank you so much for your birthday wishes. I do see your free question. We'll get you on the list here too. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you find out there, Jojo. Yeah, my birthday gift. So, Deb, let me just make sure here. Did you have an other question? Oh no, you asked for a general reading. It's right there in your birthday. I just got all cut up on the birthday wishes. Um, a general on the energy, sure. So when she's saying Venus is the only force that can stop Mars, I would imagine because they're both personal planets and they are the bookends of Earth, right? Venus being on the inner and Mars being on the outer, right? Because Venus is the second planet, Mars is the fourth planet, we're the third rock from the sun, right? Um, and I feel like because Mars is like a very strong masculine energy, that the only one that can I feel like they balance the energies, with the divine feminine, and it's almost like Beauty and the Beast is what I'm seeing in my head, which is the energy of beauty, the divine feminine, powerful, brave divine feminine energy is the one that stands up to the, masculine beast and that breaks the curse and breaks the temper and calms the fieriness of that. Um, and maybe it's the water energy of Venus, the emotional energy that when thrown onto the fires cools the embers and allows them to become more steam than burning fire. And it helps maybe transform from something destructive into something constructive. I just feel like that's kind of an energy of why that Venus with this powerful divine feminine is what kind of melts the heart in a way of Mars, Aries energy that kind of comes in with that. That's my opinion, or maybe what I was picking up too. But we shall see what Sabrina, the master astrologist, says. I always love she gets into all the goddesses and all the other ones too. Yeah, she is about the divine feminine. Yeah, she's all about rewilding, getting in tune with that divine feminine power. All right. Well, let's see what the general of your energy says. She does know her stuff. She knows all of the different planetary goddesses and all of that that matches up. It's just really beautiful. Right, and I got that one there too. Going to that there, leading to that there. Right there, right there. All right. See what you got going on here. Bottom of the deck energy here, you do have the Two of Pentacles. So it does feel here. I mean, there's this great balancing energy coming in, but the Two of Pentacles is an energy of choosing your physical actions. And it's like, what am I going to do? Why am I choosing this? I just feel like it's an important time to really focus and realize what is it that I'm wanting to achieve by this action? What are my intentions behind my actions? So in a way, it's kind of like, let me check myself before I break myself. Let me go, am I doing this out of obligation, trying to prove my worth, trying to earn, I don't know, earn something. It's not earn worth. It feels something like that. Or am I doing it because I'm filling up with love and it's overflowing? Because we can end up doing the same thing, but it's completely different energies by what we're focusing on and the why behind it. And it's like, that's why am I doing this? No, I'm doing it because I feel I'm supposed to, and I'm just trying to meet an expectation. Not going to do it then. Or before I do it, I'm going to change my attitude. Then the energy that is created through the action and moving into the physical world changes. Ooh, that's interesting. Something new that I didn't really put together. So thank you, Spirit. I love that. So it is the action energy creates, but it's the energy, the why behind the action that determines what it creates in the outside world, what kind of energy accompanies the creation, right? All right. So that's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else unfolds here. So you got the 10 of wands. So this is doing a inventory of where you're investing your energy, kind of the theme here. And this is like determining, right? Change my attitude about the mentorship. Because there is this, um, where am I investing all of my energy and is it scattered? Because we can get into a place where everything feels urgent, everything feels important, and we can split our energy, where we're investing our energy, into three kind of buckets. The one is what is truly important to me, truly urgent to me, not to the world and everyone else, but to me, truly. That's bucket one. Bucket two is what's truly important to me, but not urgent. I can put it on the, um, calendar, and I know when it's gonna become urgent, I can put that on there. And then the third bucket are the things that are screaming, "I'm urgent," but they're not important, truly important to us. They're in the third bucket. I don't even need to do anything with that. It's gonna take care of itself, or it's just gonna dissipate and go away. So I focus my energy on bucket 1. Anything left over, I start on bucket 2. If I'm bored after completing all that, I can dip my hand into bucket 3 if I want to. I don't need to, I don't have to. But if I want to, I can go, "Oh, I'm gonna do this thing. Oh, okay, I did that." But see how the energy changes? Because it's focused in on what's truly important to you, your true north, your why, and the other stuff gets in this other bucket. So I like this energy. Then you have the judgment. Yeah. So this would be, the drawing of your true calling, your higher self drawing you to that which is your calling. Why am I here? And if I'm not investing my energy in my dream, then that energy can feel like it's being wasted because I'm pouring it into a black hole and I could be pouring it into my dream instead. Underneath the surface of those 2, you do have the 3 of cups and the sun card, yeah. I love that. When you're following your joy, everything just flows and feels abundant, because we are focused in the moment. We're not about, um, like, reaching an outcome. We're not it's not about defining myself by a future outcome. When that happens, then I can be happy and joyful. It's like, nope, that's an expectation then, right? Because when I'm living my joy and living my dream, every step I'm taking, every moment, um, is, a beautiful expression, and I feel like I'm shining, right? They're playing the song, and I understand why, and they're only playing the lyrics. It's the every breath you take, every move you make, and then but it's not about I'll be watching you, but it's about breath work, right? Every breath you take, every move you make. That's great. And then where's this taking you here? Yeah, the world card. To a victory, to an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, free of expectations, back to yourself, because this takes you to the Fool card, which is ruled by Uranus, which is your ruler of your sign, your sun sign anyway. And I like that. Yeah, you had the sun too, which is coming back to you, um, and being true to yourself, not doing what you feel you're supposed to do and should do and blah blah blah, feeling pressured, but it's like I'm not doing it out of obligation. I'm doing it because it's something I want to love to do, not something I feel like, oh, I gotta do this. It's I want to do this. I get to do this. When we start going into the obligation, that's just we could be stepping into an energy of trying to define ourself and our worth. And it's like, I don't need to do that. I'm going to be me. And if they don't like who I am, in the mentorship or whatever, then bye. All right. It was fun. I learned a lot. On to my next adventure. Right. So you feel in limbo right now? uh, when you needed a mentor for cancer, there wasn't one. A bit of a trigger. Yeah. What a great awareness. And then you have the hermit, yeah, spending some time alone with spirit, and that's okay. There is this you don't need an external definition. You got everything you need that you could be with yourself here. But let's see where this is taking you because I feel like you have this time of being alone, but there's just to allow this changing of the cycle that's here too. I know the unknown, right? Well, let's see where this is taking you. You got 4 cards. You have the 8 of cups, yeah, letting emotions and relationships go that don't serve you. You've got the 7 of wands, being true to your authentic self, not dimming your light, not asking permission to shine, not defending your choices, but that you get to be who you wanna be. You get to stand on a hill and shine how you wanna shine, not, trying to have to be what everyone else wants you to be. And I know there could be some of that with the mentorship too, right? Where they have all their rules and this, and you don't do this, but don't do that, and blah, blah, blah. That's really irritating to an Aquarius. Yeah. You do have the emotional choice and the importance of relationships that come in here. That this is the emotional choice, choosing what means to you, right? So I like this energy of you get to choose how you feel about anything. And it's not about what's happening, it's about your story you put into what's happening. And then what emotional musical soundtrack you're putting to that story. Yeah. And the Queen of Cups, which is, of course, very intuitive, follow your heart energy. Um, Not your mind, right? So go where your heart is leading you, not where your mind is telling you you're supposed to go. And, that's where that obligation comes in. And that's when we feel kind of claustrophobic and why are you trying to trap me in? Get away. It's like you sit somewhere on an open field and people come and sit right next to you, and you have the whole field to sit in. Why are you crowding me? Get. Right, and this is leading you, yeah, the tower. So this is making the space for things that are more in alignment with what you wanna do, and this doesn't mean that you have to quit the mentorship. You can even tell them, "I'm not gonna be available," right? Um, I need to help my daughter during the summer, so can you put me on standby? And then when I'm back and ready, I'll let you know when you can activate the sleeper agent, you know? You can be an undercover mentee, um, that, you can do that. And so don't be afraid, to create the space for something that's truly, there for you and in alignment with where your heart is taking you. And you're like, "Yeah, this is what I wanna do right now." I don't have to, like, choose. And this makes sense too that you have this choice to make in the outside world, that, choosing one over the other doesn't need to mean that it's gone forever. It's just like, "You know what? For right now, instead of trying to do both, I feel like I just want to choose one," right? Yeah. So, if there is that, you get to choose. And the 2 of Pentacles is that you could balance both if you wanted, but also you don't need to feel obligation to do it too. So, let's see what those last cards are. You got the 7 of Swords, which is here's that mind, right? Your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that cheat you out of opportunities. Next to the 2 of Swords, which is the power of the story. So kind of like the 2 of Pentacles, but this is that you get to choose the story. You get to change what something means. You have that power. Wow. And underneath that, you have the Knight of Swords, which is it's the quest for the Ace of Swords, the quest of clarity for the new story. What do you want your story to be? But I feel like there is that, getting to the root of the energy, um, and even changing the story of limbo as that just jumps out at me, that I'm I'm not in limbo. Every moment I'm evolving, um, and I'm being held for a special mission, you know, because if I get a mentee now, it's not gonna be the person that could really use your approach that's gonna change their life wouldn't have the chance to, um, experience you. So rather than be in limbo, um, it's a story of I'm being held, in place for when this person, um, comes through the program. So you're being reserved. That's the word. You're being reserved for this special person because no one else would be able to communicate with them and impact them like you would. So you're being reserved for them. And I like that. So you have the power to change the story. Let's see what the dark goddesses have to say here, right? This one here. Yeah. Yeah, you got the Mama Wata, which is good fortune. Let's see what she has here for you. Mama, oh, Mammy Wata, not Mama. Mammy. So the myth about Mammy Wata, she's a water goddess honored across coastal and western Africa. She is known as the Mother of the Waters and is a complex spirit who can bestow good fortune, health, and wealth, but she can also take them all away. Stories tell of her haunting men who find her mirror and comb until they return her belongings. Oh, her mirror and comb until they return her belongings and agree to become her lover. You like her, Maniwata? So she often appears as either a mermaid or as an inhumanly beautiful, bejeweled woman. How fun. So the meaning is good fortune is smiling upon you. Now is the moment where good luck and preparation collide to create something magical. You are in the right place at the right time, and everything around you is aligning. Mamiwata wants you to seize these golden opportunities. Keep your mind and heart open because something wonderful is on its way to you. Well, so they're on their way. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I love that for you. Yeah, you felt helpless when you were a patient. And now, I mean, yeah, I just feel like all of your experiences, everything you've gone through, I feel like it's gonna go beyond that. I feel like that they might, of course, they connect with you, um, you know, because of cancer, but they are gonna have so much similar experiences that you can speak to. And I know you have to be careful with all the rules, blah, 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 but you can still share your side of like, you know, yeah, and I feel like some of where this bubbled up from emotionally for me is when I was young and this happened and they're like, oh my God, me too. And then blah, 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 blah. And that's part of the healing process, right? I love this for you, Deb Deb. So it's on its way. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way. Maybe their name's gonna be Easter or Bunny. Yeah, I feel you. But that's a story as well, right? They have their rules, but that doesn't mean that's what the universe is gonna obey. Especially with all of your Aquarius, rebel energy. So, I love it. Alright, my dear, I feel like there's one more card. Where are we going to here? Felt like I feel like there's an oracle card here. I feel like maybe it's from here because blind 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 spot? That's over there somewhere. Oh, no. I actually think it's right down here. Do you want a blind spot? Because it is down here. Maybe that's why I was looking over here, but sorry, that was really close to the microphone. It's like right here. So this is what she's talking about. We got these blind spot oracle. The blind spit. Foop. Are you channeling Debbie? All right, let's see here. What else can you know here? There we go. I got this. It even looks like a fish. Card number 52. Especially after you got the water goddess here. Isn't it amazing? Let's see what this is about here. It's called overlay. Let's see what this is. So if you've drawn this sigil, you're currently stuck in an overlay. You're being called to step out of it so as to base your thoughts, words, and actions on reality instead. So imagine that a person is in a prison cell from which there's no escape. They cannot cope with the reality of the prison cell, and so they begin to escape from it with their mind. They start to play a game of pretend where the prison is a palace instead. The person who brings food to the cell every day is a servant. The walls are not the stone of a prison, but of a medieval castle. The bars are pillars. The mind has the capacity to play pretend to such a degree that every element of reality can be seen as a different element. But this game is not really a game because your mental and emotional survival depends on it. This pretend reality sits over actual reality like an overlay. Most of us most of us have experienced this when we were children. We played pretend. For example, it was easy for us to see our family golden retriever as the dragon if we were pretending they were a knight in shining that we were a knight in shining white armor. But for some of us, this overlay went far beyond pretend. In circumstances in which we could not cope with the reality of our childhood, the coping mechanism of pretend became a way to literally get away from and escape our reality. When this is the case, we start to feel the overlay is more real than the actual reality we don't want to admit to. Even when it seemed like we were not pretending and we were in reality to other people, we were still experiencing life through the lens of our overlay. It is common for children to use this coping technique because childhood is such a uniquely powerless experience for so many children. They cannot escape, they cannot make choices to change their reality. And so they often end up developing coping mechanisms like overlays so as to not be stuck in tormenting reality where they have no control. But sometimes this coping mechanism continues past childhood to a time when we actually do have the capacity to change our reality. When this is the case, this coping mechanism gets us into serious trouble. And overlay is a dangerous thing because it prevents us from seeing reality. We could be heading towards a cliff, but because we're not looking at reality, we're looking at our overlay. We're convinced it's a beautiful horizon line. Whoa. Overlay overlays make it so we commit to something that isn't real, especially in relationships. And eventually, when that overlay begins to corrode, we end up in a reality that is the opposite of what we could choose. Nowhere are overlays more present than in relationships. The reality of our relationship life is often very painful. We are desperate to have the vision we see in our heads of what we want. Maybe it's that picture of the perfect family, which would make us feel belonging and closeness and connection. Our commitment is to that picture of what we want. There's nothing wrong with creating that as long as we are creating it in reality. The danger is that this picture can become an overlay. It can be what prevents us from seeing reality. When this is the case, when we meet someone, we ignore all the red flags that are telling us that in reality, this person does not match the vision of what we want. We instead become like casting directors, where what we want is actually a game of pretend played out on the stage of life. We're simply trying to pick the person who acts the most like they could play the character in the vision of our life as we would like it to be. Any sign that suggests that they could play that character well makes us convinced that they are actually that character in reality. But the truth is, they are not. We are not in love with the actual person. We're in love with the character we want them to play in our life. This can be the mentee, even, or, in any of the things that our mind is telling us we should be having and living in our lives, right? When they act in character, we approve of them. When they break from character, we disapprove of them and try to criticize them back into character. I love that. This is who we want people to be or companies to be or, children to be or Freds or whatever, and we when they're in character the way we on them, we praise them. When they're not, then we berate them, right? We become that critic. Says we're often so desperate to have relationships that we also mislead others into believing that we actually are the character belonging to someone else's vision of what they want. We are like chameleons or actors trying to become those characters so we can be loved and wanted. But this is a disaster in the end because it is impossible to play pretend or to keep acting forever. We will break character. And when we do not see people clearly in reality for what they actually are, and when we do not enter into relationships in a completely authentic way, we are not creating a relationship in reality. So if you've drawn the sigil, you are in an overlay. Unless you see the overlay for what it is and see the reality underneath it, you'll be unable to make the choices and changes that will manifest what you so desperately want in reality. Now you are just pretending they are happening in reality when when really they are a fantasy that you're living in, so that you do not have to face reality. Wow. So something resonates there, and you don't have to share it if you don't want. You can keep that to yourself, but um, unless you feel like sharing, I'm not going to say don't share, but you don't need to. We'll put that back down here. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Amazing. Yeah, right. I love the the awareness that they bring because it's such a great reminder that we tend to characterize people, meaning we want them to be a certain thing for us. So even like the mentee, maybe, or the company, or your daughters, or the campsite, even the campsite itself, what it means and represents. We characterize it into something that feels familiar. We'll, psh, and then we want them to, you got to stay in character so you don't mess up my fantasy. But when we come to reality going, "You know what? I love that. I love that awareness." All right. So cheers to you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. I'm so grateful. Happy, happy birthday. All right. So I think that's it for the donations. Let me make sure here. Yes. Yes. Yeah, they are amazing. Right between the eyes. Really good awareness. All right. So we will jump in to free readings next here. And if any donations come in, we'll just kind of bounce back and forth as we go along. So up first, we do have Swaroop Bobby. So Swaroop, here is your timestamp. So the coming week reading, what's coming towards you? What's left to you, my friend? Thank you so much. All right. What's we got here for you, Swaroop? What's coming towards you? No, yeah, I thought there was something else here. Got the Five of Wands and the Lovers card coming in. The Five of Wands energy, can be a conflict card, but I really feel like the friend group energy is coming in with this Five of Wands and learning a lot with this Five of Wands energy. Um, but the Lovers card, there's this important relationship that's coming through your friends group. It could be romantic, with that Lovers card coming in. Doesn't have to be, but, I definitely feel like what's coming towards you here is, um, there's this energy, this activity, there's this action going on, and it could be like an organization of a get together or some sort of trip or some sort of thing. But whatever this is that's coming up here, I feel like you're going to hear about it this next week, or if you already know about it and it's happening next week, But what you will find a very important relationship, that new one that begins here through that. So definitely, if you're like, I don't know if I want to go and do that, do it. If you want to open and experience this relationship, it would come back around eventually into something else too. Because if it's meant for you, your paths will, go like this, and they'll keep crossing. But there is an opportunity to meet this person, and I feel like they're going to be an important relationship in your life, if not romantic partner. So I feel like that's what's coming in for you. So there you go. Many blessings to you. Oops, erased a little too much. All right, user PC, you are up at 12626. Look at that, repeating numbers. So there is your timestamp, and you'd like a general read. Let's see what Spirit has here for you. Got this, and we got this. So you got the King of Wands and the Four of Cups. Yeah, there's a little bit here with the Four of Cups, like some stagnancy around emotional areas, especially. But this King of Wands is an energy of you determining what it is that you really want. Because you don't want to keep doing what you've always done and feel that emptiness, because you want something more. And so this King of Wands is like this. I feel like there's almost like this hermity kind of silence energy that's coming in here right now for you, where you're cleared the throne room of all the noise and all the chatter, and you just are in this beautiful, huge throne room all by yourself, where your thoughts are echoing, and you're like, I'm gonna ask my thoughts to step out of the room too. And I'm gonna let my heart have an audience in front of me to tell me what it wants. What does this look like? What does this higher love look like? Tell me about it. Tell me. You know at heart. You are from it. You're connected to it. Tell me about it, you know? And I feel like that's what's kind of coming in here, so that you have this awareness. And then once you hear what you want from your heart about this connection, then you're able to formulate a plan on what you want to do next to raise your love vibration. And you take action behind it, knowing that the only way you reach that is by letting go of thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you anymore, emotions that don't serve you anymore, energy that doesn't serve you anymore, and even physical things that don't serve anymore. It's this purging, this removing things to create space for higher love, higher vibration thoughts and beliefs and emotions and energies and actions and physical things that help do that and draw that in. So I like that for you. So I feel like that's what's coming in right now here for you, Yuzu PC. So many blessings to you. Hey, Jojo. Thank you for your additional donation. So as you pop your question down there, we'll jump down there to you. Thank you. Right. Hey, good morning, or in the middle of the night. All right. So Moncloa, you are up. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. How is so? Let me jump up here. So you'll be up next, Moncloa, if there's no other donations. Oh, is he alive? Okay, we'll take a look here. So Jojo, 129.48. Whoa, that went totally off the rails there. All right. So thank you for your additional donation here. All right. So, of course, disclaimer, I'm definitely not a detective, a licensed professional detective. We'll dive in here and see what we can find out here for around how is O. How is O? Yeah, I know. What is going on with O here? Okay. And that one too. Okay. Well, we'll see what this means. Got the world card as the underlying energy, which is an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, an ending and beginning energy. So we'll see here if, and with these many cards, I would have to imagine it doesn't mean that they are still among the living with all this, but let's see what's happening. So the first two cards, yeah, we got the Emperor energy, Six of Cups energy. It does feel like something or someone with that Six of Cups has come back from the past. And this Emperor energy is, this I'm trying to decide what I want. And they're kind of in that pocket of trying to figure out things. But it does feel like it's either someone or emotions from the past have come up, but it feels like it's more someone that it is just the emotions around something. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, because here's the Ten of Pentacles. It does feel like this relationship energy. And next to that, the Queen of Wands. Yeah, some sort of fire signy type of flame from the past seems to have come back around in their life in some way, somehow here, and it's influencing them here. And I feel like they're in this kind of transformation, transition energy. Let's see what these cards are here. You got one and then three fanned up above. The bottom one, King of Pentacles. Yeah, just trying to find the grounding, trying to balance their self worth with this energy. And the three things on top, yeah. So it does feel like there's a new love that's sparking here. Yeah, Queen of Cups, a lot of emotional energy that's coming in. And the Eight of Wands, yeah. So fast action and passion kind of energy. So it feels like, are you not hearing from them? Are they not responding? They could be caught up in this, you know, fallen for someone really over head over heels kind of energy. Definitely feels alive though. Yeah. And then the Magician as well. Yeah. Haven't talked for weeks. So it feels like there's this energy of, you know, someone's returned from the past and really got them transforming and changing and this activation and this emotions and passions. But I feel like they're with this King of Pentacles being underneath, it just feels like they've fallen into I feel like they have a tendency of codependency. Um, because I don't feel like they've done a bit of inner work, to release themselves. Yeah, because underneath the World card, we got the Six of Pentacles, my codependency awareness card. So this is the cycle they're trying to break, but I don't feel like they've done enough. It's like an alcoholic who I think I've kicked it. It's been a week. I'm going back into the bar. I can handle it. And it's like, uh-oh. um so it does feel like they've kind of fallen back into an old pattern, even though they've been trying to change it into like a codependency kind of energy. He's also a drinker. That could be some of it too, right? But yeah, it does feel a bit like that. Let's see what the dark goddesses have here for you too. Okay. Yeah. Was it Jutin Zwannu? Something like that. Strategy. So let's see what they bring in here. So, of course, the myth around her, she's the Chinese goddess of war, longevity, and sex. Yeah, I know, what a name. Her name translates to the mysterious or dark lady. She possesses magical powers such as turning herself invisible and transmuting the stars into warriors to fight on her behalf. She serves as a confidant to many powerful figures, advising them both on the art of war and sex. The magic she uses both in battle and in sex have the power to bring either life or death, depending on the methods used. The meaning is remember to honor all of your senses. She's warning you that now is an important time to be watchful, wise, and strategic. Observe those around you carefully. Pay attention to emerging patterns and how you feel around them. They're showing you who they truly are. Are you listening? Trust in your own insight and wisdom, and you'll soon know what to do. Yeah, right? His senses. That makes sense, right? Sensual energy. So, yeah, it feels like with those cards and with that goddess coming in, it does feel like it's, you know, they're caught up in that, especially that 8 of Wands, that passion energy. But there's emotion involved with it all too. But there's that codependency, that overgiving, the neediness that comes in. And I feel like they got sucked into a codependent relationship. Um, and they were trying not to, but they're just kind of whoop, stumbled in, and there they are. I feel like they're kind of out of pocket, um, and kind of in that old pattern. Like I said, beware of patterns emerging. So at least you know they're alive, right? And you're like, darn it, my curse didn't work. No. Well, good for him, right? Chop chop. That's good because you want to you want to be with this other person in this other location you're headed off to. You're gonna be like, ah, finally, this someone who just fits like a glove, you know. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your additional donation. Always good to see you. All right. So Moncloa, you are up 138.23. Just checking in on the curse. I know. I know you're just joking. Those things don't work. All they do is bounce back and end up on us. Ugh, what did I do? Yuck. Blah. It's trying to throw something on someone else's car and it bounces off and splashes on you. All right, McCullough, you want a general reading here? Wow. You definitely have an endings and beginnings energy coming in with both the world card and the tower. And this does tell you, and this could have already happened, where there's been a significant change. Two major arcana, so it's significant, but it's something being removed out of your life for you to make space for something that's more in alignment with your higher self, with where you're wanting to go. So it's clearing obstacles away, creating space for this. So it's like the old furniture needs to be moved out before new furniture can be moved in. So there is this space, and it can feel a little empty for a moment, but just know that as the rubble gets pulled away for something that's fallen apart, that it came apart purposely for you, not happening to you. And I like it for you because it is something that you might not have made the decision to do yourself. It's kind of almost like we're in a toxic job that we hate, and it's like, "Oh, I would just wish I could, but, you know, be working somewhere where I'm happy and something that I love doing, but, I don't know if it's out there. It's best just to stay here where it's safe." And then you get fired or the company closes or your positions are eliminated. And then you're like, "Oh, now's my opportunity." You have been freed, and it's that kind of energy that it feels like that. It's not that, but it's what it feels like. So, hopefully that makes sense, my glow. That's what they got for you, my dear. Many blessings to you. All right. Then we got Touch O Love. You are up 140, 44. Thank you for the birthday wishes. My pleasure. I'm excited to be here. So I want to ask, where are things going with Rex in the future? All right, let's take a look here. Based on current energies, where, oh, where are you going here? Okay, name of this one here. Okay, well, I just put this card back in separate and it came flying back out. So we do have the Tower, which is a sudden removal of someone out of your life to make space for another relationship, someone who is more your match here that's coming in here. And I know you really like Rex, and that's great. Because he's an awesome person, but there's someone more awesome that matches more your energy. That's why they're more awesome because there's this more of this sameness of equal giving into giving to each other because you have so much to give and you give so freely and so much that you need someone who can keep up to someone that mirrors you in important ways, not in all ways. That would be boring. You could just live with a mirror if you wanted that. But you're like, no, I want someone who also, brings other things too. But it just feels like there's important things like communication and the importance, knowing how important it is to share your feelings and um, so that you're not left with someone wondering, you know, is this, are we love? And there was something on Instagram that they're bringing up. I know I do this every once in a while, but they're like, "Yeah, it's that thing we had you save. That was for this time." And I'm like, "What? Hold on, what? Wait a minute." So let's take a look here. Let me get to it first. Okay, Instagram. And they had me save it. Was it today? Let's take a look here. Wasn't that one? It wasn't that one. Was it this one? Oh, no, that's not it. Whoops, don't do that. Um, what was it about? It was about the individuals. It wasn't that one. That one was about triggers. Maybe it was more than a while ago, but I'll try to remember it. I thought it was going to be like right there. It felt like I just did it today, but it could have been days ago. I'm getting old. I just had my birthday today. But it was this, you know, realize that when you're sacrificing yourself, and in a way, it had an energy of settling for, well, this is, um, kind of the illusion of, this is what all that I deserve or all that I can be happy with what they're able to give because and there's that fear of not meeting someone else, but I mean, you have someone that comes to to it's an upgrade kind of energy that comes in here. So, um, if I find that other one, I'll have to look for it. I'll, I'm sure we'll be in touch here, so I can let you know, if I find it specifically, but it's that kind of energy that was around it, and makes very much sense with the Tower and the Two of Cups. It's something being removed to make space for something that's more in alignment with your own energy, not diminishing your energy to try to make it match someone else's, right? So that's what they have for you, my dear. Hang in there. Much love to you. Right. So fairy tale Nihal, you are up 145.28. Here's your timestamp. And energy and intentions of Amir. Let's take a look here. What's going on? What's the energy and intentions? Right. So the energy of Amir really in their head with the Page of Swords, trying to gain clarity, trying to understand, what they want, how they feel. Just they're really seeking a lot of clarity, and it does feel like they're wanting just to kind of what is this? It's not really going slow, but it is about I want to gather a lot more data because I feel like maybe they're an air sign or something because they're really in their head or they have a lot of air in their chart because I feel like they're very much this analyzer and investigator that I need to make sure of all this first kind of energy. Their intentions, yeah, the Four of Cups. This is about stagnant energy and investigation, trying to understand their emotions, understanding what they want as well. So that makes sense with both of these together. Is I don't want to do what I've always done and get what I've always gotten. I want something different. I want something new. Not sure what it is. And I want to find out more and get to know myself more and get to know other people more through this too. But there is this energy if I don't want to go back and do what I've always done, this is stagnant, it's not fulfilling. So I want a different type of emotional experience. And they're not sure what that is yet. That's why they're investigating and thinking about it. So no intentions, that's their intention overall, but no direct intention other than getting to know you and understand you more. But primarily, I feel like it's an inner focus, understanding themselves. Okay. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Right. And then we have a star seed, which is Ashul. So Ashul, here is your timestamp. And AJ message you, should you talk to him, what is his intention? So let's take a look here. If you talk to him, what's the energy and what are his intentions, right? Because from spirit standpoint, there is no should, there is just could, and there's different choices with different experiences, different outcomes, right? So they're going to tell you, well, if you do talk to them, the kind of energy you experience. Eight of Wands, a lot of passion, a lot of energetic and physical attraction. There's not emotional energy here. It's physical, energy. It's passion. It's not, I love you. And it's, hey, who are you? But it's attraction energy, which of course we want that, but we also want not just be thought of as a piece of meat. We also want my heart wants to have love as well. What are their intentions? Yeah, Knight of Wands. So their intentions are intimacy, physical, not so much emotionals, not in the pictures right now with this. So they're just uh, wanting touch. That's as detailed as I'm going to get with that. All right. So you can decide if that's what you want. If you're like, well, is there love there? I don't feel love is there at all. I feel like they are more of a passionate person wanting that physical connection because they don't know how to express their emotions. So if you're looking for someone who can express emotions, that wouldn't be the one right now. Feel like it's not gonna be them for a while, that they can't they'll learn to express it eventually in their life, but not anytime soon, based on current energies, of course. Alright, so that's what they have for you, my dear. Right, and then we got little starseed angel. Hello, hello. So you are at 1 hour, 50 minutes even, and you wanna know what can you know about your future life partner? Alright, let's see. What are they wanting you to know in this reading? Here you go. Boom, boom. 2 cards. Wow, you do have the Magician and the Three of Wands. So the Magician energy is someone very like this, very kind of divine masculine energy, very much this manifester. They really focus on the positive, they really focus on creation. They don't focus on destruction. They are just this go-getter, go, 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 go kind of energy. The Three of Wands is an energy of, like, the unexpected, and so I feel like they're not going to be, like, your normal what your list would be of who they're supposed to be and should be and need to be and, this kind of thing that like, I feel like when people meet them that have known you for a long time, they're like, "Wow, I never would have pictured that, but meeting the 2 of you together, I totally get it," you know, because I feel like they're totally unexpected, and that's great. It's like, well, I want someone who is, let's say, what's one of our things on our list, right? Like, they have to be secure and wealthy, and they're an artist who they have enough, but they don't have, like, this bank account that's over brimming, but they're happy and they're this creator of things, and there's this wonderful energy that comes in with it, right? It's like, "Oh, wow. Huh. I never would have thunk that I'd be like to that," but there you are. So that's a little tidbit there. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Many blessings to you. Hey, Maria P. Good to see you. I'll throw you onto the free reading list here. Good to see you. And thank you for your additional donation, Jojo. As soon as I see your croissant, we will dive down there. So, Olivier Vagara. Oh, maybe. Nope, nope, nope. In a moment, Olivier, if you're here. Almost. All right. So, Jojo, thank you. 152.40 for your. Oh, no, not at all. No need to apologize at all. We'll give that a love and a like here. Thank you for that. Donations are how I eat. Usually on my birthday, um, my host ordered us Chinese food, so we got Chinese tonight. All right, so you wanna know, does M have someone new also? All these alphabets? Let's take a look. So cheers, let's take a sip here. Ooh, that's hot. Hot, hot. Let's turn that off. There's hardly any left. All right. Ancient Chinese secret. Let's take a look. Does M have someone now too? All right. What do we got going on here? Oh, well, yeah. Well, it makes sense with Venus going into Pisces. It's all happened today. No, I don't know when this happened yet, but we do have the Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck, which can represent new love. The first card that showed itself too for your reading is the Moon card. So there's a lot of hidden emotions, something hidden that was here. It almost feels like this is. I want to say it was. I'm getting like secret energy. It's almost like they were talking to them for a while, but on the down low, and now it's bubbled to the surface and came out. Yeah, the Chariot. Again, moon, Cancer moon energy and movement energy. So very much Cancer moon, both energies here. What's this third one? Yeah, and the Temperance. So it is something that's been bubbling up over time. So I feel like it was something that maybe it was flirtatious for a while. Um, and the bond was growing over time. It's not your secret account, no. there's this, um yeah, it feels like it's something that's been growing for a while, and like I said, it was bubbling below the surface, and then it came out. Let's see what else we have here. What else can we know? And we got the Magician, the 5 of Pentacles. So, it feels like they took action after this feeling of being abandoned and then being left out in the cold. This after this feelings of lack. So it does feel like there wasn't any action taken. I mean, if they were in a relationship with you or whatever, it wasn't that they did anything with it besides the emotional growth, because it's very emotional energy. Ace of Cups, the moon. It's not Ace of Wands, which would be new passion. It's new emotion that's bubbled up. And even the Temperance is 2 cups that over time just grew and grew with magic, with like the magician. But they didn't act upon it until things were officially over and they were feeling you know, those energies. Yeah. And we've got the World card, which is the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, and the Knight of Wands. This is action and movement energy, and then there is passion there. So I feel like after the ending, then boom, things kind of kicked in there, right? Yeah. So it does feel here. And Leo energy. So we've got this fire energy. It's not you though, but maybe they have a thing for Leos. But, they definitely like the fire starters. But yeah, it does feel here, that's a yes, and even on the bottom of the deck, we had that 8 of cups, which is walking away from old emotions and, uh, and old relationships that didn't serve anymore, which is good. I feel like this is good. Maybe it's, part of the whole process is all these people had interest in, let them find other people. So I look at it and go, the pool of eligible people to date, um, it's like a picked over pond where the only fish that are left are the suckers that swim along the bottom eating all the fish crap. And you're like, that's okay. I'm gonna go to a bigger pond. All right, let's see what this goddess has for you. Yeah. All right, let's take a look here. Yep, we've got Allah, which is virtue, which says Allah is the Igbo goddess of the earth, morality, and fertility. She's the creator of the living and the queen of the dead, who holds the souls of the dead in her sacred womb. She's a guardian of morality and passes judgment on humans' actions. She punishes transgressions and misdeeds by sending her army of ants to attack those who break the rules. They attack in nightmares first, so the offender has the opportunity to reform their behavior. Of course, that's just the myth. Goddesses really don't punish their beings of love, right? They will help us transition and transform, but not out of punishment. The meaning is be honest with yourself. You know in your heart what is right, even when it isn't easy. Take this time to reflect on the situation before rushing into action. Trust in your compassion, goodness, and integrity. She's here to guide you on that virtuous path and remind you to come back to the righteous path if you stray. Come back to the living your dream, right? And they are not your dream. All right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Yup. Too funny. All right. And I did just get 2 donations that came in via the PayPal. So thank you so much, Maria P. I see those both there. So we'll jump to those next year. So your first one here, we got 20030. Some pre-Valentine spying. Isn't that fun? Dun, da, da, da. All right, let's jump in here to your first one here. Scroll, scroll, scroll. All right. Right, Maria. So Wally's thoughts and feelings towards you today. Okay. Thoughts and feelings. After your date, does he feel you want something else for a gift? That one here. Dark side. What's coming for you this weekend? At work for you, your boss, Lauren, Dr. Bob's thoughts. Dr. Laura. Oh, Dr. Laura, Dr. Bob. Do you make him feel bad? That must mean Wally. I was like, do you make Dr. Bob? All right. So Wally's thoughts. I got the Emperor. So he is really trying to figure out, you know, what he wants, trying to put plans together. And then once he gets the plans together to take action. So his thoughts towards you today have really been around, I need to step in. I really want to do this. And, um, what do I need to do and how, does it unfold, right? So trying to figure out what the next steps are. Night, night, Jojo. Thank you again. Sleep well. Thank you for the birthday wishes. um, and then the emotions, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, this Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, the sensuality. So positive energies here. I feel like they're wanting to, in a way, take care of their queen. And this is the plans that they're wanting to do here. After your date, we have the Five of Cups. So there's a little bit of change of emotion. I feel like maybe they were feeling a little bit bummed down today, but after your date, it feels like that changed, help them change their emotions. Because I feel like there's just something in the air that they just felt kind of heavy. But after the date, I feel like that transformed their emotions into a more um, higher place. Does he feel you want something else for a gift? Yeah, we have the 10 of Wands. I feel like it goes back and forth because on one hand, the 10 of Wands is he feels like that you feel like it was a gift, it was abundance, but on the other one, it also feels like, well, maybe there is something. I feel like it goes back and forth. I feel like he's like oscillating between the two, going back and forth. Dark side, King of Wands. Yeah, this is like the Emperor energy. So definitely this is them wanting to take action, trying again, they're just trying to decide what it is I want to do. Once I make the decision, then I'll take action and we'll move it. But he's still formulating everything. What's coming for you guys this weekend? We got the Seven of Cups, a lot of different emotional experiences coming in here. A lot of good ones and some challenging ones too. There's a little bit of obstacle, a little bit of conflicting energy, but it could be like 4 or 5 cups of joy and 2 cups of insecurity and irritation, but I feel like the majority of it is positive, but there's a couple little emotions that are just poke, poke, poke. So be aware of that, that it's okay to feel them. Don't have to act on them though. What's coming at work for you? You got the Four of Pentacles. Got this solid foundation energy with the Four of Pentacles. So it feels like it's even like this. I don't know if this is a change of location, if they're moving your desk or um, if there's multiple offices. It just feels like there's some sort of change of where you're sitting Could be just a movement to a different desk, a different if they're moving to a different office or they have another office or I don't know if it's that big, it just feels more secure, but this 4 walls of the 4 pentacles is coming too. So they might have a little bit of a change of where you're sitting, um, but it feels solid. Um, what are Laura's thoughts for you at work? She got the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles energy is a little bit of it's patient energy, it's realizing the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. So she's patiently watching you grow kind of energy and it's not like you're being slow. It's just I feel like there's some growth opportunities and she's watching you grow. And that's the way she feels with that. Bob's thoughts for you at work. Oh, we get this a lot where they feel like you're an important partner in their business and they look at you as that, not romantic or anything like that, but they look at your work as you're an important part of this family, an important part of this place. Do you make Wally feel bad? You get them to think a lot about things. You definitely get them in their head, but it's not you that does it because your actions don't have any control. If they don't have a trigger inside them, then there's no trigger to go off. So that trigger is their own. Your actions might trigger beliefs that are already existing inside of them, but that's for them to be able to realize they're there and to free them from it. So you can't. I mean, you can take responsibility for their mental and emotional choices if you want, but you have no control over that. So it's not true. You don't have any control over it. You can make it easier or harder by your choices of story, your emotions, your actions, your energy. But ultimately, what they decide is from them, right? All right. So let's see what your first dark goddess brings in. You got Isis, which is healing. Beautiful. So you do have this wonderful energy of change that's happening, transformation. I used to I watched Isis. She actually, there was a TV show, a kids show in the mornings back in the day. She would turn into Isis. So she is the Egyptian goddess of magic and healing. She is a complex and multifaceted goddess. She's known as the Divine Mother and is often depicted as a nursing mother or pregnant. Uh-oh. She is a protector of mothers and children who taught women how to weave, bake, and make beer. She is the mistress of magic who knows all and can do all. People look to her for miracles and spells to help them in their daily lives. Isis has the ability to heal and bring souls back to life, and she welcomes the dead to the afterlife. The meaning of the card is you are entering a period of healing, hope, and rest. This is a time of significant personal growth as you're doing the work of healing old wounds. You've passed through a terrible challenge in your life, but you survived without losing hope. Now these issues are behind you, and it's time to embrace this peaceful place with an open heart. With Isis's guidance, anything is possible, and magic is flowing all around you. Wow, I love that for you. So, Isis. Right. So, that is for your first one. And then for number 2, we got 20931 here. There we go. And of course, we'll circle back around for your free one eventually here as well. So let's dive in here. So when we talk and I said, I do worry you or upset you, he said, you worry me sometimes, but I'm also overwhelmed with work. So what does that mean? I get you. We'll put that here. And then also, does it bother him? I always say I want to be with him more. Okay. And he said, I don't have expectations He said, "I don't have expectations, but you do, and it's normal," right? Is that what he's saying? "I don't have expectations, but I know you do, and that's normal." And then, "Will you guys continue based on current energies?" Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me take a quick sip here. Put that over here. Let me bring this water over here. Okay. So, he said, "You worry sometimes, but I'm also overwhelmed with work." All right. Yeah, yeah, we got that's funny. You got the magician and the queen of wands, both that usually have, holding a magic wand in their hands. So, yeah, you both have similar fears. You're both human. We all have similar fears. Fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, fear, you know, just we have all those not meeting up to expectations, disappointing people until we don't, until we overcome more and more and more of those. So, um, so I do feel I feel here they're stressed and overwhelmed with work, but I feel like they do worry about you too, because I know they feel like you do worry about him and you guys and well, you worry about a lot of stuff too, you both do. And that's why this is kind of like peas in a pod here. It's like, yeah, we do worry. We worry about a lot of stuff and sometimes the same stuff and sometimes not the same stuff. But you both worry. But it's the root of it is fear. And, we experience all these things and they all point us inward and upward until we can see what's going on and release ourselves from those fears. The more we question our fears, the less we fear, because when we question a fear, we show our mind that there's no reason to fear, and our mind then releases it because it sees this fear as a lie. So it's like, I don't know, whatever fears we all have, right? It's like a fear like someone's going to leave me. And it's like, why do I fear that? If they leave me, because I fear that if they leave me, that this means something about me and what are people gonna think, and they're gonna ban me from all dating sites, and no one's gonna ever love me again, and I'm gonna end up dying alone, and no one's ever wanna touch me again, and, it's like, "Alright, we'll come back," "Let's stop the drama train before we crash," right? So it's like, when we question our thoughts, at some point, start to become silly, right? When we root of why do I fear that? Well, why do I fear that? Well, why do I fear that? We get down to it and it's like, well, that's not going to happen. That's unlikely that I would never find someone to love again because there's always that we probably a more appropriate fear is that we will always find someone to love. It's not that we won't, it's that we will. Anyway, so I feel like that's for that. Um, and he said, "I want to be with him more. Does it bother him?" Four of cups, Queen of Swords. No, you got the Queen of Swords, which is one of the cards we get a lot with you two. But being such a compatible fit, and it's a positive energy that comes in here. But this Four of Cups, I feel, is they. It's not that they fear, but it's like you know, the more we spend time together, are you gonna get bored with me? You know, it's like absence makes the heart grow fonder, but when we spend too much time together, we wander. I don't know. It's like it's that emotional stagnancy. If I see you too much, are we gonna get bored with each other? You know? So interesting there, but it doesn't bother him that you wanna be with them more, um, but that comes into the expectations thing too. Queen of Swords, she has a lot of mind stuff. The heart helps get out of the expectations, but the Queen of Swords can have her rules. Um, Yeah, and we got the lovers and the nine of cups here when you asked about, I don't have expectations, but you do, and it's normal. And they kind of look at this, they kind of have this belief that women have expectations. This dream come true energy, what lovers should be, and all the romantic stories, and they kind of have this feeling that's coming in with these cards that, yeah, and he kind of has it in his mind that, oh, women have this ideal of what a relationship is supposed to be, and they try to change men to make them be, to try to fit that role, to fit the character that they want us to play. And we just read a little earlier from these other cards for reading, and they said that where it was, when someone's not being the character that we've put him in the role to be, we'll criticize them when they break character and try to bully them and criticize them back into being the character that we want them to be, instead of accepting them for who they are and getting rid of all this casting in them in a role and then beating them up when they don't, you know, act the way that I have told you I want you to act. You're the become this director trying to direct them to be who you want them to be, right? And they feel like that's normal. They're like, yeah, yeah, men don't have expectations, and that's BS. We do. Everyone does. But we also have this belief that, oh, women are emotional and they have all these expectations and they want all the stuff. Men, we have basics. We did it. And it's like, no, you know, we just don't have and that's stereotyping too. A lot of men don't have emotional expectations, but they got a ton of mental expectations of. That's why he's stressed at work. His expectations are at work, and he's defined himself by his work and that, not by emotional stuff, because I don't understand emotional stuff, so I define myself by all this mental stuff, and women tend to rule over emotions, so a lot of them define themselves emotional expectations, not mental expectations, but a lot of women do both, like that Queen of Swords. you know, Women, that's why, there's so much stress with women, right? You have emotional expectations and mental expectations. Men tend to just overload in mental expectations. Again, a lot. People are unique and different though. So anyway, that's what's coming in there. Will you guys continue based on current energies? You have the Eight of Wands. Ooh, a lot of passion, a lot of fast movement energy too. Feels like yes, yes, yes. You got the Eight of Cups and the Four of Swords on the bottom. Yeah, we got the walking away from relationships that don't serve anymore. And the Four of Swords is that resting energy, the cocooning that the Four of Swords brings in for you guys. That's under the surface. So I do feel like there's this movement forward. It's a fast movement. So it feels like things might be picking up speed. And the more you let go of expectations and focus on gratitude for what is, that speeds things up, right? Ha ha. So let's see here. We'll see what the next goddess has here for you. Let me just put these cards back in. They're being fussy. All right, there we go. Here we are. And so for this one, you've got Kali, destruction. Yep, she is the destroyer, but she's also the birther and creator. So let's see what Kali comes in here for you. So she is the Hindu goddess of death, time, and change. She's associated with death, sexuality, and violence, but also motherly love. Isn't that funny? She is the ultimate can I even talk or read? Manifestation of Shakti, the primordial cosmic energy, and she destroys evil to protect the innocent. Kali is said to have manifested at the beginning of time to vanquish demons that were threatening the gods. After killing the demons, her bloodlust and destruction continued until her consort, Shiva, restrained her. She is most often depicted as black or blue with a long tongue, wild hair, and multiple arms holding weapons, and adorned in dismembered bodies. The meaning of it is a massive change is coming your way. Kali reminds you this destruction will clear the way for new and better things. Such a shakeup may weaken your foundation for a time, but you're capable of rebuilding something more beautiful from the ashes. It may be difficult to see the light while you're in the darkness, but trust that the future holds brighter things if you're willing to work for them. Every act of destruction is an opportunity for creation. Yeah, she's the phoenix, things that the challenges that, you know, come and remove things, allow things to flourish. And it does feel like this beginning and ending energy. Not that you guys are going to end your relationships. Don't freak out. It's just about things change and change and change and change. And they go in directions that you're like, whoa, 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 because I feel like there's a lot of sudden change that comes in and it's not according to your plan, so it kind of throws you off. But just know that your your way that you want to end up here doesn't mean that's the way they want to, get there. You will get there, just you know, the more you try to control and tell them how to get there, the more we will go out of the way and it'll take longer to get there. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they have for you, Maria. So many blessings. Thank you again for your donations. We'll circle back here in a moment for your free reading. Up next, we got Livier Vagara. Hey, Livier. Thank you for your patience. I know we're almost to yours, and then we had a couple of donations. Here you are. Here's your timestamp, and you'd like a general reading for the coming week. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know for the coming week here. Okay, do you want this one? I do want this one. Do you want this one too? Let's see here. So you've got the Strength card and the Queen of Swords coming out together. And there is this opportunity here. Let's see what this other card is here too. Yeah, you get the Three of Wands, which is a change of direction. Now, the Strength card is Leo energy, it's courage energy, it's finding the oomph to step forward towards something with this Queen of Swords that feels like such a compatible opportunity that just feels like whoosh. I don't feel like it's a person, it feels more work related, more opportunity like that related. I do feel with the Three of Wands that it's different than you're expecting. You're like, "Well, this must be what it is," and then, whoosh, "Whoa, what's this?" And it's something that kind of I don't know if you've like in freeways when you're driving and there's these on ramps, it's like you're driving and you're expecting, well, eventually, and then here comes this right alongside you. You're like, whoa, where'd you come from? Because they came up through your blind spot. And there's this, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that, and here comes this opportunity that's such a good thing, and it takes you courage to take a leap in a way to pursue something that you're like, "Oh, I wasn't prepared for that because it comes out of the blue," but it's such a great opportunity for you to, um, to go in that direction, so I like that for you. Right, so that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Hey, Explainer Life, good to see you. Is that Minu? Hello. I think you're asking about Minu anyway. So I'll add you to the list here. We're not too far away from you. All right. So up next we got Cat Mia. You are up to 2428 is your timestamp. So Cat Mia, here you go. And you want to know why did you feel so angry this morning? You met someone in your lucid dream. Did that person send you anger? All right, let's take a look here. People can't send us emotional energy, you know. People can't curse us, people can't make us do anything. They can like, come to our window and go, and we can be like, and then their actions, we might have a trigger in us that gets triggered, but they're not triggering us. That just is, but our trigger is triggering because of the story we're putting to what we think we're seeing, right? It's like when I once I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought someone was standing in the doorway of my room, to my room, and I was like, "Oh god." I could see the figure of someone, and I was like, watching my breath, not moving, so they couldn't see that I'm moving, and they weren't moving, and finally, I grabbed my phone and did the flashlight, and it was my bathrobe. I forgot I had hung it to dry in the and so, at first, my story that, "Oh, there's someone or something in my doorway," turned out to be, "Well, you're right, there is something in your doorway, but it's nothing to be afraid of," right? So, we'll take a look here and see when you're in this lucid dream, why did you have fear spark? Because anger is rooted, the root of anger is fear. It's the fight in fight or flight. So, what triggered you here? Now you got this Five of Pentacles, this fear being abandoned, being let go, being left behind. This Judgment card is your higher self calling you. So this lucid dream was actually your higher self helping you face the feeling of abandonment, of being left behind, not being enough, not having enough. But it feels like when this person, whatever energy that this was holding in this lucid dream, it represents the feeling of abandonment, and it took the form of someone, and I feel like this goes back to earlier in your life, and they didn't take the form of the actual person because 'cause you're not ready to face that. Let's say it's like your father or your mother, someone that you've been taught, do not disrespect. You can't have those types of feelings toward them, blah, 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 whatever. So if we have a dream and it's about me dealing with these feelings of being abandoned by my father, then in my dream, they're gonna start off showing it to me as someone that I feel like I can put those feelings toward without rejecting them. Because I'm like, I can allow myself to feel it towards this person, but they're not really for them. It's how do they say it's not projected, but redirected. It's some sort of word where it's the feelings I have for someone I'm re putting on someone else. And so that's what happens in the dream. And the more you dive into understanding where these feelings of being abandoned come from, you'll find out the original, and it helps us in our subconscious. We'll start experiencing it in our dreams first, and then we start seeing things in the outside world, and then we start making the connection, and then we can start dealing with it consciously. But they don't just go, you know, "Hey, Camp Mia, deal with this," and you're like, "Whoa," they're it's kinda like, "Look at this, and look at this. Now look, it's coming closer, so get used to it, don't freak out." That's how they deal with things with us. So, hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, Camp Mia. Many blessings to you. Right. Boom, boom. Alright, Guide, you are up next. So 2:29:10 for yours. There's your timestamp. A general read. Let's see here. What does Spirit have for you this eve? We got this, and we've got this, and I feel like we've got this and this. You got two sets of two. So this message, you have the Empress and the Ten of Wands. So you do have this Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, this nudge to for you to focus on where you're investing your energy to make sure you're taking care of yourself too. Feels like you might be stressing yourself out, going in too many directions. And so they're encouraging you to kind of, it's Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, even getting out into nature, going to a park, getting away or in a backyard or something where you can just step away from everything for just a moment and kind of put everything into 3 buckets. The things that are truly important and urgent to you, not to where you think you're supposed to, blah, 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 but to you. What's truly urgent, truly important, bucket 1. What's truly important to you, but not urgent, you put in bucket 2. That's something you can put on your calendar, knowing when it would become urgent. And then bucket 3 is the things that are screaming, I'm urgent, but they're not important to you, not truly important to you. They can go into bucket 3. You don't have to invest any energy in them. They'll take care of themselves or fall away. Nothing you need to do with that. This helps you really kind of zero in to what's important and what deserves your attention right now. And then, because everything kind of screams, everything's urgent, everything's important, but it's not true. It's just a lot of what we've been told is supposed to be like urgent and important. It really isn't. So one, take care of yourself, do an energetic, um, check in on where you're investing all of your energy. And then really is the King of Swords. This is changing the story about your self-love. Um, and there's a lot of this that's coming in for you right now. You know, the King of Swords is the ruler of the sword suit. They also get a second set of swords, which makes them the master of the mind, but also it makes them the master storyteller. Whatever happens in the world just is till it gets in here and we put a story to it. And this Ace of Cups is change the story to a story of higher vibration of unconditional love. The capital T truce, not the small t truce. See things from a higher perspective, realizing that you are not this character that's gone through things in this life. That's just a character you've been playing, but behind that, you have this actor. If you go inward and upward, this divine actor of who you are, powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love, and that the stories that we've been putting about what other people's actions mean about me, false. Anything that happens in the outside world doesn't impact my worth. The stories I create around it, yeah, I can make up all sorts of bedtime stories, but the reality is my worth never changes based on anything that happens out there because that's not what defines me. Inward and upward is what defines you. So I feel like that's just some reminders of things for you right now. So that's what they have for you, guide. Hopefully that helps in the moment. Many blessings. Right. Jazz, you are up. So 232, 55. Here is your timestamp. You'd like to ask how to deal with your colleague A. Sometimes we get along well, other times we really don't. Cheers to you. All right. Let's see here. What is Spirit's advice on dealing with your colleague A? All right. Yeah, you got the star card, Aquarius energy with the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is letting go of our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that make us feel trapped and restricted and small and blinded and bound. The star card is an energy. It's an air sign, but the Aquarius energy is able to kind of compartmentalize emotion to try to understand it. But there's a lot of air energy here with the Eight of Swords is air energy too. I feel like what they're saying here is realize when you guys are not getting along, it has to do, of course, with the story that's playing in our head, that what they're doing means something about me. What they're doing or not doing, saying or not saying is personal, that they are intentionally doing this toward me. It's funny, next week's episode of The Easier Path is going to be around something along those lines, about not getting along with a fellow employee or peer at work. So, um, check that out when that comes out. It'll be out, I think next Thursday is when it'll be coming out. But, the premise of a lot of this energy that I'm picking up is, when someone does something, we think that they're doing it out of spite. And if they're doing it in a conference call or in a meeting, we feel like they're trying to make us look bad. But what helps here with the Eight of Swords is realizing it's not what they're doing that's the problem. My thoughts and beliefs about what they're doing is my problem, because it just is out there. There's no conflict until it gets in here. Then the story that's created is what sparks. And then we have actions like, "Why are you doing this?" And then what does that do? That finger pointing just activates, and we're basically pulling out our little French sword and going, "Sh on guard." We're inviting them to a little duel, and then they can accept it or not. And you can accept it or not when you feel like someone's attacking you. But there's ways that you can, instead of, it's like trust people's intentions are pure. That if they're doing something, it's not personal, it's because they're reacting. And we can get curious on why someone is acting the way they are. And in a way, one of the things I talk about in this podcast coming up is we become vulnerable, because we don't want to, not draw our weapon if they're drawing their weapon and pointing it at us. If we go and move the weapon aside and go, "What's going on? Are you okay? Tell me what's happening. What's unfolding right now? How can I help? What's going on?" And instead of going, "How dare you?" It's like this. We get curious, we get vulnerable, and we get honest, but we don't get defensive. Because the moment we get defensive, it's like if you ever watched the old Star Trek movies, if the Enterprise was in orbit around a planet, and if the Klingons, known enemies, come in, if we put up shields, they put up shields, and then we start firing at each other. But if we don't put up shields and they're like, "What are they doing? Why are you getting defensive?" It becomes a different situation because, if people are escalating, one of the things I used to manage an escalated call line in a corporation for a while, and it was like teaching my representatives, you know, about triggers and not being triggered and to take breaths and how to realize what they're doing is they don't know you. When they say, "You guys, blah, blah, blah," you don't need to get defensive. You can just understand that they're in fear, and then we can, change things. So we can instead stay calm and let them, the more we stay calm, then other people calm down. But if they come in and then we shoot, then they shoot and they shoot, and then we're escalating, right? So it's this calmness. The star card is also about balance and just achieving that state of balance whenever you're feeling that. But hopefully that helps, because it's this that everyone has a dream, everyone has desires. We don't think about what other people are going on inside other people's lives. We just are going, "Why are they treating me this way?" Instead, we are like, "This isn't about me." I can get curious and go, "Are you okay? What's going on?" So hopefully that helps, Jazz. That's what they have for you, my dear. Any blessings? Hey, Happy Pill. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Get you on the list here. All right. So, Maria P., you are up for your free reading. Thank you for your donations earlier. There is your timestamp. The free and a general for you and Wally. Let's take a look here. We've got this and we've got this. So you've got the Six of Cups and the Seven of Swords. Yeah. I feel like, the Six of Cups has to do with about past emotions coming up, and the Seven of Swords has to do with lying and cheating and deceit. And, I feel like it's important here, to realize that the emotions and the fears that we have, if someone hasn't given me um, a reason to be suspicious of them, then my suspicions aren't from them. My suspicions are from the past. This is what happened in my third relationship because I'd be like, why are there two towels in your bathroom? And why are there two cups in the sink? Like accusations, right? Like someone was over here, weren't they? And they were like, if you don't go get your insecurities looked at by a professional counselor, this ain't going to last long. And so I did. I went to therapy and it was helpful because they really help you get to your source of your mistrust. Um, and then you can learn to realize, of course, that other people's actions don't mean anything about us. That's what we worry about anyway. If someone cheats on us, oh, that means I wasn't good enough. It's like, no, that means that that's where that person's at, that they're just like, I don't know what to do. They're out of control. Has nothing to do with me. It has to do with what's going on over there. Right. But there's this wonderful getting to the root of it can be helpful in realizing that unless someone's done something that um, broke our trust, then the mistrust comes from somewhere else. So hopefully that helps, Maria. That's what they have for you right now. Many blessings. Couples therapy. There you go. All right. And then we have Explainer Life. You are up to 4135. There is your timestamp. And what is coming next in Minu's life? Let's see here. Based on current energies. Oh, boom, boom. And this one and this one. Nope, not that one. So you got three cards. Let's see what we got here. You got the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. So you have this little bit of independent energy, but it also is a little bit of time alone. And the Ten of Wands, because it's giving you this opportunity here, because the Ten of Wands is an energy of it can be abundance coming out with the Nine of Pentacles, because both of these can be abundance cards if you choose to look at them that way. But the Ten of Wands can also feel like the burden of trying to find independence. But you got the King of Cups, which is the balance between head and heart. I feel like, the next thing that's coming in Minu's life is a little bit of time away, a little bit of kind of this invitation to step back, look at where you're investing your energy. How are you looking at life, as abundance or as burden? Because if you look at life as a burden, then you get more burden. If you look at the life as abundance, you get more abundance. And this King of Cups does talk about being aware of where our emotions are at. And if our emotions feel like a storm, then we can look at things from a higher perspective to help balance, and it's almost like looking at the storm or looking at the stars to get us out of the storm. So it's about questioning our emotions that feel all over the place and feel like burden. And it sets us free. It allows it to come into this calmness. And that's what allows us to move forward into abundance. So I feel like that is what is coming in next for you here, this little time to reflect and to understand where are these emotions of burden coming from to set you free from it. Right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Hopefully that helps. All right. Hey, Ken, good to see you. Get you on the free list here. We're almost done. We only have a couple more here. Um, what was I gonna? I was gonna say something, but maybe not. Oh, yeah, I was gonna thank everyone for the thumbs up. I can tell sometimes when people have given the stream a like, and so if you're enjoying your free readings, if you're enjoying your readings overall, if you give me a thumbs up, I'm so grateful for that. It does help spread the Zen love. You're part of the love tsunami. It's a free way to give me some love or my channel some love, and it does put my channel out in front of other people. So I'm very grateful for that. If you would like that. And the black lab upstairs, Frankie, is grateful too. She just barked for you. All right. So let me continue here. So Happy Pill, you are up. So 2:45 even. Happy Pill. It's your timestamp. and messages about your marriage. All right, let me take a quick sip here. All right. So, messages about your marriage. So, you've got the Ace of Wands, you got the Queen of Pentacles. So, there is a new spark here with the Ace of Wands, but I, I feel more this energy that's coming in with these cards. This Queen of Pentacles, this is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. It is birthing energy. The Ace of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles together is about birthing something new. If you're in a relationship, um, then this is about, boosting it. And we'll talk about that in a sec. If you're not in a marriage yet, then this is about, you're having this time with this Queen of Pentacles to step back, to nurture yourself, and to focus with this Ace of Wands. What are you focusing on? And this applies to if you're in a marriage or if you're wanting, to move toward a marriage, because whatever you focus on is what grows and expands. With the Queen of Pentacles, it's very nurturing. There's a emotional energy behind the scenes. So it's like kind of getting out of the head and grounding yourself into your heart of what is it that I want from my marriage, whether you're in one or want one. What is it that I want from our heart, not from what I'm supposed to and should and need to, and rooted in these small t truths, rooted in fear and expectations of all the things we were taught growing up, but getting still and stepping back, even getting into nature with this Queen of Pentacles and sit with your heart and go, what is it I truly want and why from a marriage, right? And then with the Ace of Wands, it's an energy of, I'm going to focus on what I'm grateful for. If I'm in a marriage, what am I grateful for in a marriage? If I'm not in a marriage, what am I grateful for in love that I have had, or I think I would want? And you just share that gratitude with, this is what I would like. This is what I would love to have in my relationship or my marriage. And then you hand it over. And then you just begin gratitude for the things that you love in life. Queen of Pentacles is abundance. You focus on the abundance that is in your life, because if we're focusing on, I want to be married, I need to be married, or I want this kind of marriage and I don't have it, and then that's lack energy. And that actually makes it harder for that to come toward us. When we flip that energy, that Ace of Wands, I have the power of the magic wand. What I focus on is what I draw into my life. So it's really becoming aware of that for you, that you hold the power of whatever your focus of your energy, not like I want this and this and this and this, because that want energy pushes it further away. I'm grateful for what I have, and what I have had in my life. And if I'm wanting a marriage, then I start pointing the creator at, look at, I'm so grateful that they have that kind of marriage. That's the kind of marriage that I would like. At least this thing around what I think I see. Who knows what marriage someone really is going through, but my perception of that is that's what I would like. I would like this creator. I'm grateful for that. We kind of show them through our gratitude, our sincere gratitude, not want and need energy, but their gratitude energy. Um, it's like a Christmas list. This is what I would like, and I know you'll bring me the perfect person in the perfect way in the perfect timing. And if you're in a marriage already, then I know you're going to bring me the awareness around how I can make the most of this perfect marriage. Help me see the perfection in my marriage that I don't see, right? So hopefully that helps. Happy Pill. That's what they got for you. Many blessings. All right. And then Ken, you are up to 4921. So Ken, here's your timestamp. And you want to know, is KG NPCs 2? All right. So based on current energies, let's take a look here. Are they that as well? Let's take a look here. We've got the King of Wands and the Magician energy. There's a lot of fire energy. The Magician card is actually Mercury thinking energy. This feels, I don't feel like KJ is NPC. I feel like there's this fire energy within them that makes them not all the time though, but makes them at times spark and just kind of go off in these things, especially mentally, just but I feel like it's not so much like a mental or a condition or whatever NPC is. I never looked that up. I don't know what that is, but I'm feeling like it's a, you know, if it is a spectrum kind of thingy, I feel like it's more energetic, more astrological than it is anatomical or mental or the way their brain is wired. I feel like it's their energy that comes through a certain way, not so much that comes in and they just get excited and the energy takes over and then they just go off onto different things. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna have to look at what NPC is, but maybe I don't want to know because then I'm channeling spirit. But hopefully that helps, Ken. That's what they have for you. So many blessings. Appreciate it. I don't think here I have any other questions or donations. Let me just check a couple places. We'll start winding down. Let's see here. We've got, I want to go over here, over here. Okay, I don't think I have anything there. So, if you guys, we are almost to the new moon coming up. So we have a new moon drawing coming up on the 17th for a chance at winning a 30-minute personal recorded reading or one of my energetic hedges. So if you're interested, check out the link there, or the link is in the description area of the video. And if you haven't checked out my newest episode of my podcast, The Easier Path, or want to catch up on the amazing adventures that we go on in there with stories from your Bretta Zen about my drama and trauma or other people's drama and trauma, the reason why the humans do what we do, and the advice or the perception or perspective is the word from spirit and hints from spirit on how to make it an easier path instead of a harder path. So if you want to check those out, all the playlist is down in the description area of the video as well. And I am now on Wednesday through Sunday nights, starting at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. I do post the chat early in the day, the session. So you have all day to put your questions out there or make donations, either through the super chat or through Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. And then I do honor that first come, first serve based on those two. So if you guys want to check that, make sure if you have to be subscribed to the channel, of course, to chat. So make sure your alarm bell is set to all so you'll get notified when those come out. All right, everybody. Well, that is it for tonight. It is my birthday. I'm going to go have the rest of my dinner from earlier today. And thanks for all the birthday wishes. I feel very lucky and I'm excited for the next rotation around the sun. So until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your lives, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So I look forward to another year together. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support and all the thumbs up. And until I see you again, much love. We'll see you soon. Zoom, zoom, zoom.